Standing at the peak of modern technology, we often assume that Homo sapiens is the most successful human species to ever walk the Earth. But long before our time, another human lineage achieved a survival record so immense that it makes our modern history look like a brief blink. Meet Homo erectus, the upright man, a human species that successfully endured on this planet for nearly 2 million years. Evolving a taller body with long, slender legs, they transformed into the ultimate long-distance runners of the prehistoric wilderness. Their brains expanded dramatically, reaching a massive volume of 900 cubic centimeters, double that of their ape ancestors. The iconic fossilized remains of the Turkana boy, discovered in Kenya, reveal a highly advanced and physically powerful human structure. They were master craftsmen, creating the world's first multi-purpose symmetrical hand axes out of solid stone. Fossil scans of their brain casts suggest the early development of speech centers, hinting at a primitive form of spoken language. But their greatest technological leap was the domestic mastery of fire, turning raw nature into a tool of absolute survival. By cooking their food, they made digestion significantly easier, causing their teeth and chests to shrink over generations. Fire provided continuous warmth, repelled deadly apex predators, and acted as the first social hub for tribal bonding. In the blazing heat of the daytime savanna, they shed their thick body fur to maximize heat dissipation through sweating. Its hairless body gave them unmatched stamina, allowing them to use persistence hunting, chasing prey until the animal collapsed from heat exhaustion. Armed with fire and stamina, they became the first human species to migrate globally, settling across China, Indonesia, and Europe. Yet, around 110,000 years ago, as the planet entered the final Great Ice Age, this legendary empire collapsed. Despite their immense history, Homo erectus fell victim to a fatal flaw: a complete lack of behavioral flexibility. Archaeological sites reveal a passive lifestyle. When the climate changed drastically, they refused to innovate or upgrade their tools. The hairless bodies that once served as a brilliant cooling mechanism in the tropics became a fatal vulnerability in the freezing cold. They lived in deeply isolated pockets, failing to build wide social networks that could share vital resources during regional crises. When the environment collapsed, their isolation meant certain death, leaving no survivors to carry on their ancient lineage. In stark contrast, our direct ancestors, Homo sapiens, triumphed over the same brutal ice ages through dynamic, innovative intelligence. We invented complex weaving techniques, tailored thermal clothing, and constructed highly sophisticated insulated shelters. Most importantly, we formed extensive social networks, trading technologies, and supporting distant tribes in times of severe famine. The tragic disappearance of Homo erectus leaves us with a profound, urgent lesson for our own modern civilization. The universe is in a constant state of shifting chaos, and past dominance never guarantees future survival. Our greatest evolutionary superpower is not physical strength or ancient tradition, but our absolute capacity to adapt. To avoid the silent fate of our ancient cousins, we must remain mentally agile, constantly questioning our old habits. The long road of evolution is littered with the bones of giant species that refused to change when the world demanded it. We carry the bright, flexible flame of human ingenuity, a sacred gift passed down through 1,000 generations of survivors. The complex urban systems we build today are simply the ultimate extension of that early desire to conquer environmental chaos. The deep genetic code of resilience is written directly into our bodies, anchoring us to the history of this planet. The challenges have shifted from freezing blizzards to digital complexities, but the core need for mental agility remains the same. We are a species born from immense curiosity, built to explore the deep unknown and reach for the distant stars. It stands as a silent, powerful monument to the moment humanity first learned to reshape the raw materials of nature. The ancient lineage remains completely unbroken, linking our earliest primitive tools directly to our greatest scientific achievements. Every new sunrise we witness is a profound triumph, secured by 2 million years of continuous human survival. Our ancestors discovered very early that true human strength does not live in isolation, but in the power of unity. The small adaptive choices we make today will create massive ripples that completely reshape the future of human history. The bright spark of human imagination continues to guide us, cutting through any planetary darkness that lies ahead. The rich story of our evolutionary resilience is etched permanently into the deep, quiet layers of the Earth. We are a species destined to overcome, walking the long road of time with absolute courage and flexibility. And that legendary drive to adapt, forged in the fires of our deepest prehistoric past, continues to burn within us today. So next time you feel stuck in your routine, look back at history and remember the power of change. We pass down the hard-won lessons of past extinctions, ensuring our children are fully armed with the wisdom to survive. The environmental seasons of our planet change continuously, but our capacity to learn must remain absolute. Our strongest defense against extinction was never solid technology, but the deep, invisible bonds of human empathy. We are the ultimate authors of this world's grand story, inheriting a legacy of absolute survival triumph. This grand alliance with innovation stands as a powerful testament to how human culture was built on mutual care. The early structures of society were fueled by the health of the collective, destined to protect the vulnerable. Long before mechanical clocks existed, the natural rhythm of the body was our clock, tracking the deep passage of seasons. Every shared tool solidified a social contract, transforming raw, primal survival into conscious cultural brotherhood. Biology did not just help us survive the ancient world, it actively built the collective desire to construct human history. In the lonely expanse of the prehistoric wilderness, the warmth of the community kept the early human spirit alive. The absolute capacity to understand and respect this rhythm reminds us of our deep, unbreakable bond to the natural world. It possesses an innate historical weight, anchoring our minds when the speed of the modern world becomes too fast. The ancient lineage remains perfectly unbroken, preserved in the genetics and social behaviors of our modern lives. The human body is the ultimate companion of our civilization, walking the long road of progress with unwavering presence. And that legendary relationship, forged in the ancient ancestral bogs, continues to thrive in our social spaces today. So next time boredom hits, put your phone face down and let your mind wander into beautiful empty space. When destiny offered two choices, to freeze in passive habit or to innovate and survive, our ancestors chose the path of creation. When you look into your past, you are looking at a living bridge that spans thousands of generations of evolutionary history. Through ancient ice ages and modern isolation, this shared chemistry remains a constant anchor of human survival. The structures of early society were fueled by the health of the collective, destined to protect the vulnerable. The human body is the ultimate companion of our civilization, walking the long road of progress with unwavering presence. So next time boredom hits, put your phone face down and let your mind wander into beautiful empty space. The absolute refusal to upgrade technology left Homo erectus entirely exposed to the changing moods of nature. While they kept their design stagnant for eons, modern humanity chose the volatile path of endless iteration. Their small family groups were intensely local, never knowing the massive support of global alliances. When the local resources dried up in the freezing winter, their isolated campfires simply vanished one by one. We are the descendants of the flexible survivors, carrying the hard-learned lessons of past extinctions in ourselves. By learning to stitch thermal clothes, Homo sapien turned the brutal ice storm into an active canvas for innovation. Our ancestral survival depended heavily on social contracts, building invisible bridges of empathy across great distances. We did not just wander blindly through the wild, we mapped it collectively, sharing technologies across tribes. The Ice Age was not an impassable wall for our species, but a harsh teacher that forced us to think faster. History reminds us that comfort breeds complacency, while adaptation remains the ultimate law of life. The difference between survival and extinction lies completely in our willingness to change when the world transforms. To stay rigid in a fluid universe is to accept being frozen permanently in the deep layers of time. Our modern civilization is built upon the active, restless curiosity of 1,000 generations of wanderers. The same creative spark that conquered the prehistoric wilderness now drives our species to explore outer space. The ancient world left its quiet monuments in stone, waiting for us to decipher its evolutionary warnings. Even in our crowded modern environments, we must preserve the flexible mind that kept our ancestors alive. Nature constantly tests the boundaries of life, rewarding the agile and quietly erasing the stubborn. Time does not favor the mighty. It favors the responsive, those who can align their habits with reality. We are the custodians of an incredible lineage, the last remaining flame of a diverse human family. The art left on ancient stone walls is a living voice, shouting across time to remind us who we are. To thrive in the future, we must activate the ancient primal wisdom of collective adaptation and unity. Our greatest asset is not the physical structures we build, but our capacity to imagine new solutions. The grand journey of humanity continues, powered by an unbroken chain of mental agility and shared knowledge. Every step forward requires us to balance our advanced technology with the deep rhythms of our biological history. We did not inherit the Earth to stay still. We inherited it to move, learn, and transform continuously. The past is a silent anchor, grounding our minds when the speed of the modern world becomes overwhelming. We carry the bright, flexible legacy of the ultimate survivors, destined to cut through any cosmic darkness. Every historical tragedy is an invitation to listen closely to the changing rhythms of our fragile planet. The lineage remains completely unbroken, linking our earliest ancestral bogs directly to our modern achievements. We are a species built to overcome, walking the long road of time with absolute courage and flexibility. Though our societies have radically changed, the ancient primal instinct to protect the collective remains fully intact. When you look into your past, you are looking at a living bridge that spans thousands of generations of evolutionary history. The structures of early society were fueled by the health of the collective, destined to protect the vulnerable. The human body is the ultimate companion of our civilization, walking the long road of progress with unwavering presence. So next time boredom hits, put your phone face down and let your mind wander into beautiful empty space.